Hey sisters, welcome back to my channel. You know the drill. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend because you know I'm coming with those relatable topics that we all can relate to. Sis, you know I got you covered. So with that being said, let's get right into the video. Okay, girl, we have to talk about this, okay? At the end of the day, I've seen too much, I've been through too much, and I gotta hit this topic with my sisters. I know you guys are like, what is she coming with now? But at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that you all can relate, okay? So, sis, I was thinking, right? Why is it that majority of these men, or should I say these F-boys, okay, they act like they have more to offer us than we have to offer ourselves. And it's just like, wait a minute, rewind, bring it back, because 9 times out of 10, all the things that we ask them for is some pretty simple stuff. But I believe that's where we go wrong, right? Hear me out, sis. We ask men for what they can't even give themselves. Like, at the end of the day, they can't make us happy. We have to do that. They don't respect us because they don't respect themselves. We asking them for loyalty, unconditional love, happiness, stability, the whole nine, and they can't even give it to themselves. So it's just like, sis, what are we really doing to ourselves? Because we have to really evaluate these men before we ask them for certain things, or before we have a certain expectation or standard to approach them with, because they don't have it to give themselves. So how are they gonna give it to us, sis? I'm just trying to understand it all. You know what I'm saying? We really need to get a grip on being naive, in a sense where we really think that these men can provide us with everything and anything that we ever dreamed of, because that is wrong, number one. And number two, like, for instance, self-love, self-worth, respect, loyalty. Like, you'll spend the rest of your life waiting on them to give you that, because from what we've seen, right? From what we've seen and what we witnessed, right, in variety of different situations, all hell has to break loose first before a man could sit back and say to himself, like, oh, wow, I really need to, up my standards, or wow, I really need to cherish myself more. You know what I mean? Like, it really takes a man to go through hell and back before he even realizes that he lacks those things. And upon us meeting them, or just getting into a relationship with them, some type of stable condition with a man, we oftentimes make that mistake to just automatically think that they can provide us with those things right off the bat. And it's just like, it's unrealistic, honey. It's so unrealistic. Like, if you do find a man that can give you that right off the bat, like right off the beginning, kudos to you, sis. Like, you are blessed, you are lucky, you're all of those things, because I really don't see men having those qualities. Like, it's just like the biggest challenge today for a man to even offer you some sort of loyalty or unconditional love or respect. It's just like, it's mind-boggling to them. You're speaking a whole different language, honey. They don't understand. They don't know what you're talking about, and they can't give it to you because they can't even give it to themselves. It's like, do yourself a favor, sis. Don't expect these men to make you happy. Don't expect them to love you more than you will ever love yourself. Don't expect them to be loyal to you more than you will ever be loyal to yourself. At the end of the day, let me tell you something, sis. Self-love, self-respect, self-honor, self-praise, all of that, okay? You can do it by yourself, and that's the best version of it, when you could do it for yourself, okay? Because when you depend on another human being that is capable of making mistakes just like you, that is capable of being confused at any point given in time just like you, then they will leave you hanging, sis. They will leave you lacking, making you feel like you're inadequate, making you feel like, you're not good enough. You start to attack yourself when you can't get these little simple qualities from a man. But honey, don't do it. Take a step back and realize, like, it's not for them to do it. It's for you to do it, sis. You got this. You know what I'm saying? You got this. And when you decide that you could give those things to yourself, it won't break you down so much when a man is lacking those qualities. When a man shows you that it's too hard for him to show you loyalty. When a man shows you that it's too hard for him to give you a little bit of respect where it's deserved. When he shows you that it's too hard for him to give you stability and all of those aspects of a relationship, it won't hurt you. Because guess what? You got it. You did it on your own before you met him, while you was involved with him, after him. You had it down packed, sis. I tell y'all all the time, you got it covered. You got this. Sis, I'm just saying, when we dealing with them F-boys, them fuck boys out there, which are AKA confused men, AKA men that can't get it together, AKA men that don't really have nothing to offer us at the end of the day, okay, but broken promises, okay? When we realize that these F-boys are just exactly what they are called, then we won't have so much expectation in them. For example, right? Self-worth. Something as simple as self-worth. You would think that any individual would accommodate that attribute from day one. You know what I mean? But no. And it's up to you to have that high standard. It's up to you to understand the definition of self-worth when you're involved with someone, because they will put you to the test. They will try to see if you really think you're worth it yourself. Before a man will take you serious, he will test you to see if you even think the same thing that you're asking for. Like, do you respect yourself? You want me to respect you. Do you respect yourself, sis? Like, men do those things. You want me to show you how much you're worth by giving you this and giving you that. Do you even believe that you're worth it? You see what I'm saying? Like, these men sometimes, their behavior speaks volumes. And we have to pay attention to that. Most of the time, their behavior is trying to tell us something, okay? So, all I'm saying is reel it back, okay? And the number one example or issue that I see today is, sis, we gotta stop shacking up, okay? Because our self-worth is defined by the stuff that we allow with these men, okay? And I see a lot of sisters out here shacking up. I am not against you shacking up, honey, but I just want to make it clear to you, don't expect this man to marry you. Don't expect this man to hold you to a higher standard because you were okay with settling. And I'm not here to tear anybody's parade apart. I'm not here to shame anyone. But sis, you gotta love yourself a little bit more if you want him to love you more. You gotta respect yourself more if you want him to respect you, honey. If you're looking for marriage and a picket white fence, you gotta stick to that. You gotta hold that standard no matter what. And if it means losing him, then honey, he gots to go because he didn't mean you well in the first place, sis. There's no man on this face of the earth that doesn't understand what that means to a woman, okay? You don't gotta break it down. You don't gotta complain. You don't gotta argue. You don't gotta do none of that. He knows what that means to you. Right off bat, he knows what it means. So if he is not willing to step up to the plate and meet your standards, then honey, he never planned on settling down with you in the first place. He never planned on building a future with you in the first place. Don't be shacking up with these men, honey. Listen, I had one of them try that with me, and let me tell you, Okay? I ain't shacking up with nobody. I don't care how much I like you, how much I love you, how much I think we could have a beautiful future together, okay? I am not lowering my standards, honey. If you ain't coming with a ring or some type of stability where I could be accommodated and not have to worry about, oh, if you get up tomorrow and change your mind, then I'm screwed, then listen, we ain't doing it, okay? Sis, let me share a story with you. I had one. I had one. He was trying everything to move in, honey. He would come with his little slick talk, his little slick movements, being sneaky and the whole nine. I didn't feed into none of that. I didn't pay none of that no attention. Like, he would, like, spend the night here and there and try to leave his clothes here. I'm calling you up. Where you at? I'm coming to drop off your stuff. I don't care if you at work. Where you at? Call your cousin, call your sister, call somebody, because I'm dropping your stuff off. There's no reason for you to be leaving your clothes here. I don't even want to see a pair of shoes. Like, no, we not doing it at all. Because I respect myself. I love myself. And if I ever expect you to see me in the light that I want to be seen in, then I need to uphold that standard. I've been a wife. I know what it is to be a wife, okay? And if I want my man to see me as a wife, I have to act like one, right? Sis, we gotta play the role. So we can't accommodate slackness. We just can't. And I'm here to tell y'all, we gotta do better. Don't look for things in these men that they can't even give themselves, honey. We gotta be on our P's and Q's at all times, sis. Another thing he used to try to do is any type of conversation that we would have, or, you know, talking about our dreams and goals and stuff like that, he would try to slip some little quotes here and there talking about, oh, he can't really see certain things playing out in his head until we live together. And I'm like, well, if you can't do that until we live together, if, you know, a perception in your mind is too far away, because, you know, a perception is right here. It's just like a little small taint image of what could be right here. And you're telling me that's impossible because you didn't move in with me. Well, honey, where's my ring? Where's my ring? I mean, did you buy me a house? Did you buy me a condo? Something? So that we could make that perception a reality. Like, I'm just trying to understand. You see what I'm saying, sis? Like, don't feed into that. I act like I was deaf. I was just like, huh? What happened? Let me call you right back. I've done that plenty of times. Sis, I'm not lying to y'all. We gotta have more self-worth, self-love, self-respect, all of those things for these men, because they ain't gonna have it for us. It always take men to go through some life disaster, some devastating event before they even come to their senses and say, okay, I need to make some changes. I need to look in the mirror. I need to do this. Oh my God, I did her wrong. This, that, and the third. Sis, don't be that girl. Don't be that woman to wait for him to drag you through the mud and back before you realize that he wasn't even worth the pain. He wasn't even worth the trouble because he couldn't give you what you were looking for. Don't waste your time. Don't allow him to downgrade you and your worth with his crap. Just look ahead. When you meet these men, ask yourself. Take one good look at him and ask yourself, what can he give me? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, that's all what it's about. At the end of the day, these men are not with us for nothing. And we're not going to be with a man for nothing. It's vice versa, right? So at the end of the day, you know, it's like, if you want to be a part of my life, show me what kind of attributes you have. What are you adding to me? Not taking from me. You know what I'm saying, sis? So that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to point those things out to you. Sister, love yourself. Provide happiness for yourself. Respect yourself, honey. You could do it. You don't need a man to do those things for you. At the end of the day, There's nothing like self-love and self-worth, self-respect, okay? Try to maintain those things on your own with or without him. Show him that, yeah, it would be nice for you to add those things into our relationship, but without you doing it, I'm good either way. I'm perfectly fine. Don't allow these men to have you in your feelings, sis. Making you feel like you're not worth it, asking yourself all kind of questions, breaking down on the inside, borderline depression. Sis, don't do it. Don't do it. They're not worth it. Nope. Nope, not at all. They're not worth it. Because let me tell you, what's meant to be will be. All right? And if he can't love you for who you are, if he can't accept your standards, then he got to go. Just be like, bye, there goes the door. You know what I'm saying? Because the right one will accept you for who you are. He will embrace you. He will uplift you. He will support you. He will be loyal. And you won't have to ask him to do none of those things, sis. Think about it. That's the difference. You don't have to be annoying him, nagging him, asking him, begging him, pleading him to do none of those things, honey. He gonna come on a platter. And he's going to assume his position. And he's going to stand up to the plate. And he's going to offer you those things without you asking for it. And that's all I want for my sisters. I want all of us to be happy. I want all of us to have everything that we need and want in this lifetime, especially with our men. But never lower your standards, sweetie. You know your self-worth. And never, ever, ever expect a boy, okay, to give you what he can't even give himself. All right, God bless. Until next time, peace.